And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, folks. However you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Friday. That means we have to update our NBA power rankings. This is the second to last NBA power rankings before the All-Star break. So we got this week, and then we got next week, because Saturday? Whatever. The last day before kind of that break of the NBA All-Stars is Thursday. So next Friday, we'll have our kind of last power rankings for kind of the first half of the season. So kind of our second to last power rankings before that. And there's a lot of movement here, folks. There was just so much mediocrity, so much mediocrity this week. A lot of teams just kind of splitting 2 for 2, kind of losing against kind of teams that they shouldn't be losing against, and like beating teams that they should be winning, not really impressing us too much. So we do have kind of a big shakeup here in our top 10. We're gonna give some teams a chance, since like we said, this is kind of the second to last before kind of the first half of the NBA season is done. So we're gonna give some teams a chance here to prove themselves. Some teams that have been really kind of impressing us this week, just kind of this week alone, that they've been working their way up and getting better. So we're going to give some teams a couple of chances here in the top 10. Let's see what they can do for this stretch of this week, see if they can keep their spot in the top 10 or see if they flunk out. But we're going to give some teams a shot here today. And then, as always, we are on day 12 of our 73-day NFL draft countdown. And today's NFL draft prospect that we're going to be looking at is going to be a cornerback. This is the second cornerback we are looking at today, so we're going to have to compare him to our first cornerback that we've looked at, Caleb Fairley, and see which one we're going to like better. But we got a cornerback on deck today from Alabama, if y'all know who that is, so we'll be looking at him. So that's what we got on the show. Obviously breaking down the NBA from last night as always, and breaking down the story. So let's jump right into it. Here we go. Well, here it is, folks. We told y'all the moneymaker is back and better than ever. Finally, we were able to close out and hit that last one and be clutch. Our Knicks -2, 76ers -4.5, Pelicans +9, all ended up hitting. Bingo, bango. We are back on track, folks. And this is perfect timing. Like we said, we're about, a week away from the All-Star break. That's kind of signifies the halfway point of the NBA season. So, we were kind of right on track. We needed to kind of get a couple of games, seeing which teams are the real contenders, seeing which teams are the real pretenders. And now that we're kind of at the midway point of the season where everyone's starting to really kind of get it together collectively, putting together consistent work out on the floor, beating teams consistently, competing against teams consistently. So we're right on track. We're not, if you were following the show last season during the NBA bubble, we closed out our moneymakers at the end of that season in the bubble really great. Like, we were hitting, all of our picks most of the days, then hitting, just missing one on those other days. So we had it all figured out last season in the bubble. It does take a little bit of work to find out, all right, how is the season playing out? Who's really trending up? Who's trending down? And just making, a sense of all the stats that we've been looking at for the first kind of halfway of the season. So we're right on track, back at it. Don't think we'll ever lose a moneymaker for the rest of the season, honestly. I think we're reading all of these teams perfectly right at the moment, so very well done. We had Knicks -2. They win by 19, just absolutely dominating against the Kings. We know the Kings are floundering, and we know the Knicks are rising, so we felt comfortable with that. 76ers -4.5. They win by 14, so bingo bango there. Just no problem against the Mavs without Porzingis. Once again, who was going to stop Joel Embiid? Nobody was going to stop Joel Embiid, so we swallowed the 4.5 and won there. And then we had the Pels +9. They lose by 4, but we had them +9. We felt confident that they would be able to kind of handle the Bucks decently, their beef, their size. And hey, they lose, but we got +9. That was tremendous value. We saw it, we took it, and we ended up hitting our moneymaker because of it. So very well done. We're going to go back-to-back tonight, feeling super good. That we're finally back on track. Going to feel great about these lines today, and we're looking to hit, folks. And once we hit, you better hold on for the ride, because we will not miss again. It's like the GameStop stock. Once you buy in low, you're just going to see profit after profit after profit after profit after profit. until it crashes down again. But we'll get there when we get there. We'll talk about that when we get there, if we get there. All right, let's move on. Here we go. The best plays of Tua's rookie season. We got them here. Another highlight from NFL on Twitter. But the reason why we're looking at this, because I'm seeing still a lot of Tua slander on the timeline. And, I don't really see it. I never really saw what people were saying when we were looking at them live, breaking them down every single week during the NFL season. We didn't really think they had too much great wide receiver talent out there. A lot of drop balls, a lot of just not getting open and making it a little hard for Tua. So we're going to try to be unbiased here like we always do on the show. And we're just going to watch these Tua's best highlights. We're going to take what the NFL says as kind of the gospel here. And, these are going to be his best plays of his rookie season. So we're going to kind of break down these plays, see what he's showing here on the tape. Do we see what all these critics are saying about Tua, or are we just seeing greatness here? Are we going to be just seeing pure greatness? So let's watch this highlight tape. Let's break it down, and let's be unbiased, and let's show y'all that Tua's actually pretty dang good. So here we go. We'll go full screen here. All right, first play, dropping back against the Rams, throwing. Nice little comeback route there. Looks like Jakeem Grant put it right on him. I mean, that's a solid throw right there. Nothing special. Now we go in the end zone, and this is what I love about Tua. In the red zone, he gives his receivers a 50-50 chance at catching the ball, and that's all you want when you got a one-on-one matchup. He goes to Devontae Parker over the middle, and he puts it right there, low and away, where you have to throw it over the middle of the field. And look at that, and Devontae Parker just fantastic, able to kind of grab it horizontally, falling to the ground here. But I mean, you put it right on the money. The accuracy, this is what we're talking about, and I feel like that's a lot of things that that's kind of the one thing that people don't see about Tua is his accuracy. Just look where he places the ball. Every single throw, it's really only where the receiver can get it. So that's really the most impressive thing that we're seeing by Tua this season. Alrighty, against the Cardinals here, play action, rolling out to the left, sets his feet, and there it is, folks. What a dime on the run. Not even wide open, kind of a it's a decently open throw here, but still putting it right on the money, squaring your shoulders, flipping your hips on the run, and here it is, giving your receiver a chance here. Perfectly thrown ball. These are the most impressive throws to me, and we break them down all the time. The throw where, there's a cornerback on the receiver and a safety coming over, and you just have a short window to get that ball in there before the safety comes over there, and that's what Tua did right here. Dropped it right in, right before the safety. Cornerback can't get there because the receiver's got about a half a step on him, so beautifully thrown ball by Tua there. Once again, against the Cardinals, throwing all the way back to the right side of the field and able to get it there. Kind of a wide open pass, but, the fact that he was able to get the ball there, fantastic. Another throw here. Put it right on the money. I mean, you saw this kind of defender coming down and had a chance to make a play on the ball, but Tua placed it so great that even the corner or even the defender couldn't come and jump and make a play on this ball because he's throwing it away on the outside shoulder. So very well done. The placement, the ball accuracy, there it is. Tua taking off. He's not the fastest, folks. His speed is not really translating well here in the NFL. He's getting chased down a lot. So yes, Tua's athletic ability here in the NFL isn't as good as it was in college. And that is something that's probably the biggest red flag we've seen by this man. He hesitates running. This isn't the best run by him either. He kind of a lucky juke here that he didn't get hit. It's not even the biggest juke. I don't understand how this defender just got I don't know how the defender missed too on this one, honestly. This man really cannot run that great. He's not really that fast. He's a little hesitant, and he doesn't really understand the down and distance. It'd be like third down, and he's sliding like well short of the first down. So the mobility of this man, the running game of this man is not my favorite. Definitely not that great. Alrighty, here we go. Against the Cardinals again. I mean, this was probably his best game overall in totality against this Cardinals team, so no wonder we're seeing a lot of plays here. Once again, decent coverage there. Tua puts it right on him, coming back receiver, and you get the completion. Now, trying to escape the pocket here, stays on his feet, somehow is able to run right up the middle, and yeah, I mean, he lowers his head a little bit, took a little bit of an unnecessary hit there. Not a big hit, but still should have slid right there, trying to do a little bit too much when when you're not a big runner, so got to preserve that body a little bit more. And here it is. Yes, sir. This is the best thing about Tua. Here it is in the red zone, in the end zone. When he's got the one-on-one coverage, he'll throw the jump ball every single time to that wide receiver, and that's another reason why we love Tua so much in the red zone, because he's giving your weapons, your receivers, a chance to make a play on the ball. Unfortunately, this is maybe the worst one. They showed the worst one he threw all season long. It's a little underthrown. You see the receiver have to come back and kind of reach over the defender to come and get this ball. So usually it's kind of high and away. Like I said, this is the worst one. I've seen them all. This is the worst one, and I'm a little upset that they chose this play. But still, it was a touchdown. It was caught, but this is just kind of what he does one-on-one in the end zone, giving your big playmakers a chance at the ball, and I'm all a freaking about it. There it is, throwing on the run. Look at this man. He could have taken this little dump route, but he's like, hang on, I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to go 15 yards deeper. Absolutely perfect on that pass. Once again, kind of rolling out of the pocket. Fumbled the snap here, able to get it, and then throw the jump ball. Yes, sir. I love it, folks. I truly love this. I love whenever a quarterback, when you have a 50-50 matchup, trust your guys. Trust your accuracy. This is what I love by this man. He is kind of fearless throwing the ball, not fearless throwing the ball here on these jump balls, these 50-50 balls, these one-on-one matchups, and I absolutely respect the hell out of this kid for it, because, I mean, you've got other great receivers. I mean, you get Mike Evans, and Tom Brady doesn't even throw balls like this. You've got, Aaron Rodgers, who consistently, even with Devontae Adams, doesn't throw 50-50 balls like this, so I'm truly impressed by this man, absolutely. My favorite things about Tua so far in his kind of short rookie season that we've seen is his placement in the red zone, and then just giving your receivers a chance at the ball. Let's continue with the highlights here. Once again, pretty great pass here. Just enough to kind of get it past that first defender there. For perfectly well done. The accuracy, it's going to be hard to pick off this man because of how well he places the ball. Very well done again right here. Just getting it over that first wave of the defense and then dropping it in right in the breadbasket. And here it is, another one-on-one matchup in the red zone. Yes, sir. You're going against you're trusting Devontae Parker, who's got great kind of one-on-one ability. You're trusting our great tight ends, Mike Gesicki, who was basically Travis Kelce out here. So very well done here. Another trip in the red zone. What does he do here? Dump it off to Mike Gesicki. Yes, sir. Finding our big old tight end targets. Yes, sir. Going to our actual weapons, and that's how you do it. We've seen this one when we broke down the Dolphins' top 10. A little bit of a lucky pass there. It was truly tight coverage there. It just found its way into the end zone. So we'll take it. We'll take it, definitely. Nice little flip there on 4th and 8. I mean, being clutch here at midfield against the Patriots, and just got it there for the first down, knowing the plays, knowing the routes, knowing what you have kind of before you snap the ball, and we get the first down on 4th and 8 because of it. Then Tua goes and takes off and, runs, scrambles for 3 yards for the touchdown. I mean, once again, this isn't nothing great. I mean, this speed isn't anything great. He's not that big that he can kind of break tackles either. So his really kind of running game, his kind of dual threat that he had in college, is really not that great here in the NFL. Once again, one-on-one matchup going to Devontae Parker. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I know they're down 28-6 against the Bills here, but still the ball placement, attacking the ball down the field. Another one against the Bills here, week 17. He's going to take off and run with it. Once again, just nothing great. I'm not really impressed by his running game. All right, and then this is probably the last play here. Down 56-19 against the Bills, Jesus Christ. And then there it is, perfectly thrown ball. Perry was able to kind of find that soft spot in the zone and takes advantage. So overall, Tua's accuracy is fantastic. Giving his receivers, his best playmakers on the field, a chance at 50-50 balls in the red zone is fantastic. His running game is nothing special, not even close to Kyler Murray, or not even close to Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, or really even Ryan Tannehill. I even think Ryan Tannehill is a better runner than Tua is at this moment. But he's getting better, and the one thing that we said about why Tua struggled this season was kind of the play calling by Chan Gailey. It was really kind of night and day when Chan Gailey was calling plays for Ryan Fitzpatrick, compared to what he was calling for Tua. It really was like night and day. It'd be like ultra conservative when Tua was on the field, and then just super opened up whenever Ryan Fitzpatrick was on the field. And I really think that hurt our offense and Tua's kind of growing ability throughout the season. So he should be good to go this season. I've got all the faith in Tua in the world, absolutely. as long as we get a receiver at number 3. And that brings us to, once again, Brian Flores, we're talking to you, man. Got to get a wide receiver at number 3. I would like Devontae Smith, but if you take Jamar Chase, I've got no problem with that. It's got to be a wide receiver at number 3. Do not trade back. Do not get a lineman at number 3. Go and get the playmaker for Tua. Alrighty, moving on. Deshaun Watson, he's doubling down, folks. This man is doubling down. Deshaun Watson met with the Texans head coach David Culley last Friday and reiterated that he wants to be traded and has no intentions of playing in Houston again. So we've got Houston management saying, hey, we're not trading you. And then we got Deshaun Watson said, hey, I'm not playing, y'all. Like, you don't have to trade me, but I'm not going to play. I don't care. I will take the pay cuts. You can take all my game checks. I do not care. I'm not playing for y'all. I've given you all these chances here, and you keep screwing up my kind of career here. You're ruining my prime. I see Patrick Mahomes getting to multiple Super Bowls. I see Lamar Jackson getting to the playoffs every single season, being successful, and now here I am not making the playoffs. They only got 5 wins, no head coach, no defense. Really, I've got decent weapons around me, but no running game to help me out in the passing game. So no, I'm not going to play for y'all. I even wanted input in the team, and you didn't even give me that. I mean, Russell Wilson feels like he doesn't even have input in his own team, and look what Russell Wilson did for that team, that organization. 2 Super Bowls, 1, and I mean, just being relevant every single season, and Seahawks management isn't even listening to him. So I don't know, Deshaun Watson, it's unfortunate. I definitely support whatever you want to do. I don't care. You have leverage. Use your leverage. It's so annoying how like everyone's just goes and sides with the business side and the big business all the time. No, these players are the reason why these teams and organizations and owners are making money. And yes, they're getting paid a lot of money. I'm not saying that they're not getting paid a lot of money. But the fact that, people are saying that these people need to just shut up and, not talk and, do your job, it's a little nonsensical. Imagine if somebody said that to you in your job. It's just really nonsense. Just because they're getting paid more, they're still regular people. They hold all the cards, folks. They have all the leverage. You can opt out. All right, then go and get somebody to replace me. Try and find a quarterback that's going to do what I do. Try to do that because I'm going to bet on myself. I've already got all this money. I don't need to play this season. I'm going to bet on myself, and I want out. He's trying to force his way out. And once again, just kind of people side with business. I mean, the owners, these owners, these GMs, they can cut a player whenever they want to save $1 million. But if Deshaun Watson wants to kind of save his own career because he doesn't want to, get hurt in a team that has no chance of winning a ring, but just to kind of cement his legacy, he's in the AFC and he has to go up against the behemoths already of Patrick Mahomes and then the second tier behemoth of Lamar Jackson. So he wants to get on track. He wants to start winning games and start getting into playoffs and start winning championships and competing for championships because he knows his legacy. He's already being compared. He's already in the same kind of draft class kind of around there of Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, and he knows he's already seeing kind of the GOAT race play out live. I mean, we were kind of in a golden era of quarterbacks of Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Deshaun Watson sees, oh, you have to win rings to be considered the GOAT. Okay, I get it. Tom Brady's got 7 of those things. I've got none. Aaron Rodgers only has 1, and we can't even call him the GOAT. Drew Brees has only got 1, and we can't even call him the GOAT because they don't have more than 1. I don't even have 1 yet. So Deshaun Watson, if he wants to be out of Houston, I've got no problem with that. If he wants to sit out this entire season to try to force their hand, once again, I've got no problem with that. Do what you think is best for yourself. Bet on yourself. You've got the money. You've got the cards in your hand. You've got the high ground. I'm trying to search for the word. I've already said it. You've got I've already said it, and I can't even remember it again. Super unfortunate. But once again, we just stand by Deshaun Watson here. You've got the leverage. There it is. That's the word. You have the leverage because there is no quarterback as good as Deshaun Watson in this draft. Maybe Trevor Lawrence, but that's just strictly passing, and he's already going to go to Jacksonville. So there's no way that this Texans team can get better through the draft at quarterback. They've got this quarterback right here, Deshaun Watson. He's not going to play if you're going to keep him. So it's now the ball's in your court. Deshaun Watson once again reiterating that he's got no intentions of playing for the Houston Texans this season. All right, let's move on. Last story of the day, Frank Reich and the Colts. Here it is. Frank Reich says the Colts have, quote, the right culture, but, quote, good quarterback play is necessary to win a world championship. And he is 100% right. I mean, look what Phillip Rivers did this season. It was really kind of truly impressive what he did this season. 68% completion percentage, 4,100 yards, 24 touchdowns. The 11 picks is a little high, but everything else was really good. And what did that get him? A wild card game, a first-round game against the Buffalo Bills. So you have to go and do better than what quarterback Phillip Rivers did this season. And that led him to an 11-5 record, a wild card game, a game against the Bills first round. So Carson Wentz has a big step to take ahead of him this season. It's going to be tough. And then look what he did in the playoff game. I mean, it was decent. He had the ball last. Unfortunately, he couldn't be clutch. But I mean, still, you need good quarterback play, because in the playoff game against the Bills, he threw 58% completion percentage, which isn't anything great, but 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. It's just he couldn't be clutch and couldn't kind of drive down on that final drive to go and win the game. So what's Carson Wentz's big things here? He doesn't stay healthy. So Carson Wentz needs to kind of play at the level of play that he had in that kind of 3-year stretch where he was only throwing 7 interceptions. He needs to stay healthy, and then when he gets into the playoffs finally and is healthy, he needs to have a great game, and we don't know if he can because we've never seen him play a full playoff game. So Frank Reich, he is right. You need a good quarterback to win the championship. I mean, look what Tom Brady did. I mean, yeah, he kind of floundered in the playoff games, but he stepped it up hugely, only 6 incompletions in that Super Bowl. So Carson Wentz, a big climb ahead of him. We've seen him put up the regular season stats that, Phillip Rivers has been putting up, consistently in his career, and what he did this season for the Colts. But now he's going to have to stay healthy, get into the playoffs, and shore up his game even more. So Carson Wentz, like we're saying, he's got a big hill to climb here. You got to kind of see what Phillip Rivers did last season, kind of elevate your play up to that. And then even better, because even Phillip Rivers couldn't get it done this season in the playoffs against the Colts. So we'll see if the Colts can do it. They've got a great running game. They've got a decent defense. They've got Carson Wentz, who I think can definitely elevate his play. I think he just needed out of Philly. I still think this man can play at a high level at the quarterback position. So we'll see how 2020 is going to look. I mean, this season, I honestly cannot wait. We've got so many storylines, so many narratives to kind of talk about, and we're just getting started. So absolutely, we'll see if Carson Wentz can get it done for the Colts, because they've got all the pieces. They just need Carson Wentz to play well. Alrighty, those are all the stories we needed to break down for today. And all right, so let's head over to the NBA. We'll break down what happened last night. We'll go through all the games. We'll go a little bit deeper into the stats, and then we'll do our moneymaker. Gonna hit again. 2 days in a row. Our moneymaker is gonna hit. Cannot wait. So we'll do that. We'll do our moneymaker, and then we'll head over to our NBA power rankings, and then we'll do our NFL draft prospect of the day, and then we are out of here on this nice, gorgeous Friday. Oof, it's nice out. Alrighty, here we go. First game up, 76ers and the Mavericks, one of our moneymaker games. 76ers minus 4.5, and like we said, they won by 14. Absolutely fantastically well done. Mavericks, no Kristaps Porzingis. They have to, rely on Boban, and, I do like Boban. I think he can play, but, against Joel Embiid, like we said, there's really only a couple of players that can guard Joel Embiid very well. Anthony Davis is probably the biggest one. Jokic, decently. Rudy Gobert, not too much, because, he stretches the floor. Joel Embiid stretches the floor too much for Rudy Gobert. So there's really not a lot of players that can guard Joel Embiid, and Boban Marjanovic was not one that could guard him. So 76ers 8 all day. Great performance by everybody. Danny Green stepped up. I even think Seth Curry stepped up. We'll have to double check that. But, you got Joel Embiid. You got Ben Simmons. Only against Luka, I'm taking the 76ers, and we did. And they win outright pretty heavily with a 14-point win. Alrighty, Nets and the Magic. That was great value with the Nets minus 8. We should have taken it. We played it a little too safe there and didn't, but they went absolutely outright here, 129-92, an absolutely big old 37-point win, just dominant from start to finish. And that's what we know about this Nets team, though, folks. They're super, super fantastic. While the Magic, they've only got Vucevic, and nobody else really stepped up consistently for that team. So we can always bet on the Nets. We can always take the Nets, and we've got them moving up in our power rankings. Potential number one. We'll see. Alrighty, then Kings and the Knicks. Very well done to the Knicks. Derrick Rose gets elevated to the starting lineup and had a pretty decent game there. So absolutely fantastic. And the bench still performed very well with our Derrick Rose off the bench as well. So Knicks had it all going. They beat the Kings, just kind of outscoring the Kings 140 to 121. Another one of our moneymaker picks with the Knicks -2. And we are believers in this Knicks team, folks. They are a rising team, trending upwards team. And now that Derrick Rose is in the starting lineup with R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle, they've got a little bit of a mini three here. Obviously not a big three, but a mini three that can get it done on a nightly basis, as we saw last night. So Knicks are back, baby. Get excited. Alrighty, Clippers and Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies beat up the Clippers big old bad. A 28-point win, 122 to 94. Just an absolute slaughter by the Grizzlies. And hey, I mean, a well-rested Clippers team, it's not impressive anymore. So I'll spoil it. We took them out of the top 10. I mean, they were only number 8 in our power rankings coming into this week, but I'm so over them. They've got so much rest. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, load management. Paul George, load management, blah, blah, blah. And they're so well-rested that they can't even beat the Grizzlies. And I like the Grizzlies, but you can't beat the Grizzlies. Why not? They should have had no problem. But Dillon Brooks back in the starting lineup for the Grizzlies propels them. That's kind of something we've been waiting for, Dillon Brooks to get back in the starting lineup. He is there. I think he was the leading scorer of the squad, and they get the job done. So super over the Clippers. We're not even talking about them in the top 10 anymore. Like we said, I mean, well-rested teams that aren't winning consistently, what are we doing? I mean, we've got, the Suns that are winning game after game after game and not resting their players. The Jazz winning game after game after game and not resting any of their players. And, the Clippers resting everybody every single night. And, when everybody plays, they don't win or can't even score more than 100 points. So we're over the Clippers, folks. Truly over the Clippers. Alrighty, Wizards and the Nuggets, and this one came down, and if you were on Twitter or just watching the game, I mean, really kind of controversial decision. I mean, they had like a 4-on-1 break, only down 2 points at really the last seconds of the game, and they take a three-pointer that's wide open, but they miss it. Unfortunate, and the Wizards win 112-110. So Wizards getting a little bit back on track here. We may move them into the top 10. I know we've been talking about it all week, but do we actually do it? We're not going to spoil all of our power rankings here, but Wizards a little impressive here, beating the Nuggets. At least they were competitive against the Nuggets. I mean, you could say, oh, the Nuggets blew the game and the Wizards shouldn't have won. Okay, y'all can say that, but the Wizards at least were competing, and within a point, 2 points, they actually had the lead at the buzzer beater. So I mean, the Wizards at least were competitive all game against the Nuggets, and the Nuggets blew the game, so you have to put them on them. So big win here for the Wizards, absolutely fantastic, beating the Nuggets 112-110. And then the last game of the night, our last game in our moneymaker that sealed it for us, a victory, a big old win, 3-4-3, absolutely fantastic. Pelicans +9, they lose by 4, 125-129 over the Bucks. And just unfortunate, kind of the Pelicans had a chance to win the game. It was a little bit of a hot potato. Who is going to take the last shot? We obviously saw last night, and we've got the tape again, that the Pelicans, they don't have that person. They never talked about who's going to take the game-winning shot. Brandon Ingram, Zion, Lonzo Ball, Tobias Harris, or not Tobias Harris, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, who's going to take the last shot? Obviously, the Pelicans have never talked about it because it was just hot potato. They passed it and passed it one too many times, because then they get a charge call and they lose possession and they lose the game because of that. But we'll break that down when we get to this game. But very well done for the Pelicans to actually they had the lead multiple times throughout this game. In the fourth quarter they had the lead, in the third quarter they had the lead. So very well done by the Pelicans to kind of compete against the Bucks, and we had them +9, which was great value. So we'll take it. So good win for the Bucks here. Great competition, great performance by the Pelicans, especially in a back-to-back. So we'll definitely, we are still buying this Pelicans team a little bit. We do want to start seeing them beat these kind of better teams a little bit more, but at least they are kind of still in this competing phase, and we'll see what happens, this last week before the All-Star break, if they can kind of turn that around, or if they're going to have to kind of wait until the second half of the season to really start to kick it into gear and winning these games consistently. Alrighty, so let's go a little bit deeper into these stats now. We'll go right back up to the top here to the 76ers and the Mavericks. So let's start here with the 76ers. Ben Simmons, 15 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds on 54% shooting, just kind of being the pure defensive player that he is. We know we don't expect him to put up all these points. We expect him to kind of assist, rebound, and play defense, and that's kind of what he did last night. So very well done to Ben Simmons. Shut down defense against the Mavericks for the win. Seth Curry, 15 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 66% shooting, 3 of 3 from 3. So very well done by Seth Curry. That's what this team needs. You got Joel Embiid for the beef down low. You got Ben Simmons for the defense. You got Seth Curry and Danny Green for the 3. And then you got Tobias Harris, who can literally do whatever. He can do everything. He can score down low, the 3s, the defense. He can play it all. So they've got a complete lineup here, and we absolutely love the 76ers for that reason. Joel Embiid, 23 points, 9 rebounds on 25% shooting, so that wasn't great, but still just a performance by everybody else kind of elevating, the lackluster shooting night of kind of these other performers. So kind of like Tobias Harris, only 6 points and shooting 28%. So kind of crazy that Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid were the worst shooting percentage players of the starting lineup. Usually that goes to Danny Green and Seth Curry, but Danny Green and Seth Curry had a pretty decent night. Danny Green, 6 points, but he only took 4 shots, and all 4 of those shots were 3, and he hit 50% of them, so not terrible overall. 4 rebounds, 2 steals, just kind of being a decent defensive piece as well. So got to shout out the entire starters here, really kind of getting it done collectively, defense, offense, and shutting down the Mavs. And then off the bench, Shake Milton, 10 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. A great game by him in only 19 minutes. And Dwight Howard off the bench having a great performance, 14 points and 8 rebounds in only 16 minutes. So really, no Kristaps Porzingis for the Mavericks. I mean, this is nothing great. They got no beef down low. We can go and talk about the Mavericks now. As we said, Boban Marjanovic starts at the number 5 because no KCP, Kristaps Porzingis. 7 points by Boban, 12 rebounds on 27% shooting. So once again, just a great defensive effort, not allowing Boban to eat down low, because we know he can. He's definitely a solid big in this league. Absolutely. Luka Doncic, he was the leading scorer, but had a lackluster game, and nobody else stepped up. Nobody stepped up in place of Luka Doncic. A little bit of, not a poor performance, but it's a light performance on what he usually does. And no Kristaps Porzingis, he's usually kind of your second scoring option. So they needed somebody else to really step up in place of kind of the poor performance night, shooting the ball wise and point wise, and nobody did. And that's why we stay away from this Mavs team really kind of on a nightly basis. So Luka Doncic, only 19 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds, which, I mean, to anybody else is a decent game. But, not to Luka, who can go 35, 10, and 10, 35, 10, and 9, 30, 41, 12, and 15. He can do that, but not a great performance here by him. Josh Richardson, 13 points, 6 rebounds, not bad. 0 of 4 from 3, though, unfortunately. Maxi Kleber, 6 points. Dorian Finney-Smith, 6 points on 28% shooting. So it's just nobody stepped up in the scoring department. Off the bench, we got Jalen Brunson with 11 points, not terrible. And Tim Hardaway Jr. with 12 points, just once again, not terrible. But nobody elevated their play. Nobody stepped up and said, you know what, I'll be kind of the number 2 option here. I'll be the second scorer. And that's what the Mavericks are lacking a little bit here. So a loss here by the Mavs, unfortunately, but very well done to the 76ers. All right, let's move on to the Nets and the Magic now. In the Brooklyn Nets, without Kevin Durant, still get it done. James Harden, 20 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds on 43% shooting. Kyrie Irving shot better than James Harden this game. Love seeing that. 27 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds on 61% shooting. Didn't shoot great from 3, 1 of 6, but still overall a great night by Kyrie Irving. DeAndre Jordan, 8 points, 11 rebounds. Yes, sir. Joe Harris still getting into the mix. 14 solid points here, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting from 3. Fantastic. And Bruce Brown getting involved too. 14 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds on 66% shooting. I mean, these starters all step up their game, and it's because, James Harden's a fantastic facilitator, and they got great hitters, and Bruce Brown and Joe Harris, and, Landry Shamet off the bench, and Nicholas Claxton off the bench, just all having great games. As we said, Landry Shamet here, 19 points, 9 rebounds. Nicholas Claxton, 10 points, 4 steals, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. So, I mean, folks, this Nets team is so deep. They don't even have Kevin Durant. Jeff Green didn't even play. James Harden only put up 20. Kyrie went for 27, and everybody else just elevates their play, and that's why this Nets team is so freaking dangerous, folks. Forget about the big three that they have. They kind of have like a big 7, honestly. DeAndre Jordan, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, I mean, along with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and then let's just say Landry Shamet off the bench. That is a big old 7, folks. All those players can get it done night in, night out. You can count on those players whenever you need to. Whenever one player is not going to step up, one of those other 6 in that big 7 will, folks. So watch out for this Nets team. They're playing so freaking good. They're blowing out teams. They're winning games, and they're back on track here. Alrighty, now let's talk about the Magic. Let's see what they did. Let's start here with Vucevic, 28 points, 12 rebounds, doing what Vucevic does. Who else steps up here? We get James Ennis, 15 points, 3 rebounds on 100% shooting. Absolutely fantastic. Love seeing that man stepping it up a little bit. Unfortunately, Al-Farouq Amino gets his start at the 4 here and only 2 points and 4 assists and 3 rebounds on 16% shooting. Definitely could be a little bit better. Evan Fournier, 8 points and 3 assists on 33% shooting, 1 of 5 from 3. Once again, really not stepping it up. Michael Carter-Williams, 11 points, 5 assists, not terrible by him. And then off the bench, what do we got? Dwayne Bacon, 11 points on 40% shooting, 1 of 6 from 3. It's just nobody's going to step up consistently and put up the points like Vucevic can. They have Aaron Gordon for that, but when Aaron Gordon's on the floor, Vucevic doesn't elevate his play. So a little unfortunate here by Terrence Ross off the bench, only 5 points on 11% shooting, and just nobody steps it up. There's no great score on this team, unfortunately. Alrighty, let's move on to what's the next game up here, Knicks and the Kings. Oh yeah, let's talk about some Knicks, baby. Let's start with the all-star of the Knicks, Julius Randle, 21 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists on 50% shooting. Great night by him. Nerlens Noel, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Alright, a little light by him. RJ Barrett, 12 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds on 62% shooting. Very well done. Reggie Bullock, 10 points, 1 steal, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Not too bad overall. And then Derrick Rose in the starting lineup, 18 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds on 63% shooting. A great night by him. Love seeing that. So is Derrick Rose going to continue to be the starter? Most likely here. A great performance in game 1 off the bench, elevated to the starting role here. So very well done to Derrick Rose, truly deserved, and we'll love to see what this Knicks team can do, truly. And then off the bench, even better than what the starters did. Their 2 top scorers came off the bench. Alec Burks, 24 points, 4 rebounds on 66% shooting off the bench. Very well done. Taj Gibson, a great performance off the bench as well. 9 points, 7 rebounds. And then Emmanuel Mother-Loving quickly, folks. Just taking over off the bench, leading scorer for the team in only 20 minutes of play off the bench. 25 points, 2 steals, 3 assists on 50% shooting. Just getting it done. The starters all got it done. The bench just freaking went above and beyond with 2 players and 20-plus point scoring. So this Knicks team, I think they're the real deal, folks. We'll see if they can, kind of start beating, the better teams, the kind of, above average teams. Because, the Kings, we talk about them. They're falling down hard and couldn't get back on track in this game. But well done to this Knicks team. I am kind of impressed. They're a little deep. As we said, no really big superstar. I don't really count Julius Randle as a superstar. He's an all-star this season, really not a superstar. Derrick Rose, unfortunately, he's got the history with the injuries. So, he's kind of a little bit of a shell of himself, a little bit. So he's really not a superstar anymore. They do have all-stars. I would classify Julius Randle an all-star, RJ Barrett kind of an all-star, Derrick Rose an all-star, but, just a lot of role players all on this team, and they're all getting it together. So love seeing that. Alrighty, and the Kings now. Let's start here. They move Buddy Hield to the 1 and De'Aaron Fox to the 2 here in the starting lineup. Did that change? Not really. De'Aaron Fox still had a great game, 29 points, 11 assists, 4 rebounds. But Buddy Hield still not really stepping it up too much here. 9 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds in 30 minutes on 33% shooting. So definitely Buddy Hield. He's got to, figure out where he fits in this starting lineup, because I think we've seen him at the 3 a little bit. We saw him at the 2. We see him here at the 1. And really, there's just really nothing consistent here by this man. So got to see him step it up a little bit more consistently here. Raquan Holmes, 9 points, 6 rebounds. Not bad by him. Harrison Barnes, 22 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds on 58% shooting. Very well done. And Marvin Bagley, 19 points and 5 rebounds on 58% shooting. So decent job by the starters. Unfortunately, Buddy Hield couldn't step it up. Tyreese Haliburton, their rookie off the bench, had a good night. Actually, a great night. 17 points. 4 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. He did play 32 minutes off the bench, but still, really doing everything. Points, rebounding, defense, getting it done, and that's what Haliburton can do. So maybe elevate him into the starting role. I do know he is a rookie, so they may be taking it slow, but we have seen rookies do work in the starting lineup. Best case is probably LaMelo Ball. So we'll see if Tyreese Haliburton ever gets elevated to the starting lineup. Maybe have Buddy Hield off the bench, because it's really, it's not like he's having great success in the starting lineup. The worst plus minus in the game, minus 22, and just really no great production offensively. So Buddy Hield, he's got to get it together. Maybe come off the bench, elevate Tyreese Haliburton. We'll see what happens, but this Kings team, they got to do something, because this skid, I think they're officially, what are they on officially, a 10-game losing streak? What do we got here? 9-game losing streak. Not good at all. Not good at all. I would say trash. I would classify that as trash. Alrighty, now let's go to Grizzlies and the Clippers. Let's start here with the Grizzlies, and you would probably think, Grizzlies blow out the Clippers. Ja Morant must have had a great game. No, it's just everybody collectively had a good game. Ja Morant, 16 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds on only 50% shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, not great. It's kind of average. Grayson Allen, 10 points, 2 of 2 from 3, 66% overall, and 2 assists to go along with that. So great night by Grayson Allen as well. I won't say great night. I'll say a decent night by him. Let's say efficient night. That's better. Efficient night by Grayson Allen. Jonas Valanciunas, 16 points, 15 rebounds. Yes, sir. Getting it done. Kyle Anderson, 13 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. And then Dylan Brooks back in the starting lineup, back in the lineup just in general here. 19 points. Led the starters in scoring. So very well done. Dylan Brooks is a huge reason why this Grizzlies team is going to have success, if they do have success in the back half of the season, which I think they will now that they're all healthy. So, this is a good starting lineup here. This is a solid starting lineup, and I would put faith that this starting lineup can go toe-to-toe with really any of the teams on a nightly basis. So very well done to them. Now let's start talking about the bench, because they did get some solid contributions off the bench. Tyus Jones, the leading scorer for the squad off the bench, and just in the team in general here, 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds in only 15 minutes of play. 81% shooting, 9 of 11 from the field in only 15 minutes. Talk about efficient. Get in, get out, all the points. Yes, sir. And then we get Brandon Clark, 9 points, 8 rebounds in 22 minutes off the bench. And Justice Winslow, 9 points, 6 rebounds in 21 minutes off the bench. So great job by the starters. Great job by the bench players. Everybody working together for the win. And the Grizzlies, nice win over the Clippers. Now let's go to the Clippers now. Why did they lose? Well, Paul George, 13 points on 25% shooting. That will do it. That will do it alone. Kawhi Leonard, only 17 points. He still had 7 assists and 5 rebounds on 42% shooting. Not the best. 1 of 5 from 3. Once again, not the best. So Kawhi Leonard, a little bit of a light night. Paul George, definitely a light night. And nobody else really stepped it up. Serge Ibaka had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of 4 from 3. Well done by him. Nicholas Batum, only 4 points on 25% shooting. Patrick Beverley, 5 points on 28% shooting. Lou Williams off the bench, 9 points, not terrible. Reggie Jackson led the scorers off the bench, 12 points on 55% shooting, not terrible. Marcus Morris had 9 points. Zubac off the bench, 7 points. 6 rebounds. So just nobody stepped it up for the Clippers. And at least, the Grizzlies had Tyus Jones score 20 off the bench. He's the only person that scored 20 or more points in this game. So that's kind of the main difference, even though they kind of won by 30. It's just the Grizzlies were a little bit deeper in this game. So Clippers, we are over this team. I mean, folks, Kawhi Leonard, game management, load management, not playing every single game. Same thing with Paul George. And then they lay stinkers. How can you have stinkers when you're fully rested? We're over the Clippers, truly. You cannot be having all this rest and still not win games consistently. It doesn't make any sense, folks. So, truly over the Clippers, over them. We don't have them in the top 10. I don't want to hear anything about it. Over the Clippers, 1,000%. Maybe they can kind of rebound in kind of during the All-Star break, but until they do it, we're not going to believe it. So, over them. Over them. All right, let's head over to Wizards and Nuggets now. As we said when we kind of were prefacing this game, Wizards win by 2 in kind of a little wonky fashion. So let's break down the last kind of 6 seconds of this game. So here we go. Washington up 2-0. Nuggets are getting the rebound here and are pushing the pace here, not taking the timeout, even though they've got 2. I like the advantage here. I mean, they're on a 4-on-1 fast break down 2 with 5 seconds left. Yes, give me that. So what happens here, though? They push the ball. Jamal Murray, all the 3 players besides Jamal Murray go to the 3-point line. Jamal Murray stops his dribble, shoots it out or kicks it out to number 7 there for the 3-pointer, and he misses it. Truly unfortunate. Now, I've got no problem with taking the 3 here. Go for the win if but that's a 4-on-1 fast break. This kind of broke the internet saying, everybody was wrong here, that they made the wrong choice. They didn't, nobody went to the basket. I mean, they could have had an easy cutter to tie the game to go into overtime, so they could have done that, but they rushed to the 3-point line. Capazzo tries to freaking hit the game-winning 3. I wouldn't even trust him in the order. I think I have Jamal Murray 1 as kind of my final score, Jokic number 2, and Michael Porter number 3. Unfortunately, Jokic wasn't in the picture here. Jamal Murray was pushing the floor, and Michael Porter Jr., he was at the 3-point line, but he gave it to Capazzo. Capazzo didn't swing it for an extra pass. And how do you just not make this wide open 3? I mean, I know everybody's clowning this Nuggets team for, nobody cutting to the basket because it's literally wide open. You could have gotten the easiest layup there is. So they settle for the 3, but how do you not make this 3? Can we talk about the 3? I mean, this is wide open. I know the pass wasn't great. You had to bend down all the way low for it, but still, I mean, you've got to hit these 3s. I mean, these are wide open for the win. You don't make this? You don't cash out on this? What are we doing here? If you're not going to hit this shot, what shot are you going to make? Probably none. So unfortunate here for the Nuggets. And then what I really don't like is, what is Jamal Murray thinking after the game? He goes to Twitter and posts this shot, this angle of, all 3 of these players standing around at the 3-point line. You're dissing your own team for losing a game. It's unfortunate, but it's a wide open 3. So, and you picked up your dribble. You could have continued to push the ball and, maybe go inside for your own layup as well. But you decide to throw a bad pass. This is a bad pass. You picked up your dribble to shoot over a bad pass. I know, these 3 other players at the 3-point line didn't crash the basket, and yes, that is kind of a little unfortunate. At least one player should have had the option. You don't need 3 players standing around here. But yeah, I mean, I don't like that you call out your own team like this, especially on social media in public. What are we doing? Do y'all not understand kind of, the psychology that goes into team sports? You cannot have you cannot give like your teammates a sour taste in their mouths because they'll resent you and they won't get over this. And then there's just unnecessary drama in your locker room when you're one of the best teams in the league. You're a solid team here. What are they officially? Oh, they actually dropped down to the 8th seed. So, all right. So, but still, a solid team. They're still a solid team. But either way, don't like Jamal Murray going to Twitter and showing this angle. This is what he said, this angle, ... What? Bruh, we're a team. You lose and win as a team. I hate this. I hate that Jamal Murray went on Twitter and really was dissing his teammates a little bit. And then, obviously, I don't like Capazzo taking the last shot. He should have swung it. Did he have time to swing it? Let's see. Time, he had 1 second to swing and get the shot off. Probably not enough time to swing and for Michael Porter Jr. to get the ball, unfortunately. But still, either way, Nuggets lose, Wizards win. And that's how it happened. So let's start here with the game-winning Wizards team. We know that Russell Westbrook is on a 2-game streak of 4 or less turnovers. Let's see if he can keep it up. We allow Russell Westbrook 4. We allow him 4. We don't like 4. We would like it to be 3 or less, but we allow Russell Westbrook 4 for everything else he does in this game. So let's see where he was at in this game. 16 points, 5 turnovers. Ugh. So, all right. Broke the streak, but at least we know he could streak a little bit, so that's good. It's positive. We can see that he can have less than 5. So 16 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Great night by him. 35% shooting definitely needs to be better. 5 turnovers definitely needs to be better. But I mean, the man's a freaking dog on the floor, so you got to give it to him. Bradley Beal, great game by him. 33 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds on 52% shooting. Efficient. We get Moritz Wagner, 6 points, 8 rebounds at the 5. Rui Hachimura, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists on 56% shooting. Great night by him as well. And then Garrison Matthews, 6 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 33% shooting to round out the starters. And then off the bench, decent performances here. Raul Neto, 16 points, 5 steals, holy moly, 4 assists and 2 rebounds on 50% shooting. So great night off the bench by him. And Robin Lopez off the bench, 10 points, 3 rebounds on 71% shooting in 25 minutes. So not terrible off the bench here. Great night by the stars. Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, no David Bertans. He did not go. We said he was a game-time decision, but he did not go, and they still get the win. And Rui Hachimura steps up. So great night over this Wizards team. They've got some playmakers. Obviously, they got the superstars in Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. They've got kind of, a solid bench with Neto and Robin Lopez. And, Rui Hachimura steps up. David Bertans, coming off the bench or in the starting lineup. I think we've seen both by him this season, and he can kind of step it up as well. So a decent squad here. We'll see if they can keep it up this week. But, yeah, great win over the Nuggets here. All right, now we go to the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, 34 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds on 52% shooting. Jokic, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. So the top 2 here get it done. The top 3, we should extend that to because Michael Porter Jr., 18 points, 10 rebounds on 53% shooting. Probably his best game of the season so far, or his best game ever since he got back into the starting lineup here after the injury. So very well done by the big 3. And as we said, for Facundo Campazzo, he ended up taking the game-winning 3, but he was 1 of 7 for the entire game. He was 1 of 6 up until that point. You should not be taking that 3. I understand that's just kind of how, they fell into line, but still, we need somebody else. Michael Porter Jr. was 3 of 7 from 3 in this game. So truly unfortunate that the ball ended up in Facundo Campazzo's hands. Really should not have been there. Monte Morris at the starting 1 here. 12 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds on 25% shooting. So not the best, but still an overall decent game besides the shooting performance. But yeah, they are definitely struggling without Paul Millsap in company. Unfortunate, they need them at the 4, the 5 for the beef. They did not get it there this game, obviously. So, well done by the Wizards getting the win. Alrighty, here we go. Last game of the night. Bucks, Pelicans, and we've got film on this one too, so let's watch this one. Pelicans down 125-128, so down 3 with 14 seconds left. Let's watch the final couple of seconds here. They get the steal off the inbound, so very well done. They don't have to foul. They get the steal. Now it's just who's going to take the last shot. Lonzo passes it to Brandon Ingram, who passes it to Seth Curry, who passes it back to Lonzo, who passes it back to Brandon Ingram, who goes and drives and passes it to Zion, but they get the charge. Just hot potato at the end of this game. Truly unfortunate that nobody wanted to take that 3. Seth Curry could have pulled it there. Alonzo could have put it there. Brandon Ingram could have pulled it there. But they all just go, no, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. And then they just wait so long that freaking Dante DiVincenzo takes a charge against Brandon Ingram. And that's the game. Turnover. Bucks go score another free throw. 4-point lead with the second left. That's game over. So unfortunate by the Pelicans. They battled all game long, had the lead, as we said multiple times throughout this game. Just unfortunately, nobody wanted to be that last man to either, tie the game, bring it into overtime, or lose the game. Just nobody wanted that on their head. Unfortunate there. Of everybody that's on this Pelicans team, I think, Brandon Ingram should be taking the one. Either Brandon Ingram or Seth Curry is probably the 2 I would trust the most. then probably Danny Green, then Lonzo, then Zion. If it's a 3-pointer, if it's a 2-pointer, give it to either Brandon Ingram or Zion Williamson. But if it's a 3, I give it to Brandon Ingram first, Seth Curry 2, Danny Green 3, Zion or Lonzo 4, Zion 5. So a little unfortunate here by the Pelicans. Truly a tough loss. This one is going to sting, especially of how well they all played. So let's start breaking down these stats now. We'll start here with the Pelicans. Even though they lost, we'll start with them first. Zion Williamson, just a stud, folks. Truly a stud here. 34 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds on 57% shooting. 0 of 2 from 3. Unfortunate. Taking a little bit of more threes there. Don't want to see those start creeping up, Zion. Unless you start hitting them, but let's, focus on making them in practice before you start bringing them into the game, because then you'll be like freaking Blake Griffin out there. Brandon Ingram, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 44% shooting. He was 1 of 10 from 3. Not great. Now we know why he passed up. He passed up the 3. He's like, I'm not hitting this shit. I'm passing. I'm not gonna hit it. What else do we get here? And Seth Curry didn't play. Oh, that was Eric Bledsoe we were calling, unfortunately. Did we know Seth Curry wasn't playing? Did we say it was a game time decision? Yeah, we may have, actually. All right, so that was Eric Bledsoe up there. Not hitting it. Was it Eric Bledsoe? He was number 3? What's his number? Number 5? What's Josh Hart? Was it Josh Hart? Number 3. Oh, okay. It was Josh Hart. All right, Josh Hart. Yeah, I would definitely have Josh Hart taking the 3 over. So now that we know that, it would be Brandon Ingram 1. I want Brandon Ingram taking the shot, whatever, because he's kind of the main playmaker here. And then Seth Curry 2, Josh Hart 3 if he's on the floor, Lonzo Ball 4, Danny Green 5. All right, but back to the stats here. Steven Adams, pretty nice night trying to contain the beef of Giannis and freaking Brook Lopez and all that company. So Steven Adams goes 7 points, 13 rebounds, 5 offensive boards, 4 assists, so not bad overall by him. -4 as we see, but hey, I mean, everybody else wasn't doing that great either. We see Zion a -11, we see Eric Bledsoe a -4, so Steven Adams being a -4, or Eric Bledsoe a -20, so Steven Adams being a -4 isn't too bad overall. He was kind of doing decent work against Giannis. It's a tough matchup to go against. Eric Bledsoe in the starting lineup here, taking over for Seth Curry, 16 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds on 38% shooting, 4 of 10 from 3. Not terrible overall. And then Lonzo Ball, 20 points, 8 assists, only 1 rebound, 6 of 10 from 3, and 50% overall. So not a terrible game by Lonzo. The points were there, the assists were there, decent defense as we see a +5, so we'll give it to Lonzo. Pretty nice night overall. He's having a pretty good week here. He's kind of winning us over. He's elevating his play a little bit, getting better, points and rebound, really kind of focusing on that. So nice couple of game stretch here for Lonzo, and we definitely respect it. Alrighty, and then off the bench, what do we got here? Josh Hart, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. JJ Redick, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Willy Hernangomez, 10 points, 5 rebounds. So not very deep. They only had 3 players playing off the bench. So, I mean, only playing freaking 8 players in this game. A little, and they were still competitive. That's pretty damn good. Very, very impressive performance here by the Pelicans. Truly unfortunate they couldn't close out the game, unfortunately. Alrighty, now let's go to the Bucks now, and we see their starting lineup changed a little bit. I think I'm really about it. I think I am truly about this. So here we go. Dante DiVincenzo at the 1, Chris Middleton at the 2, Bobby Portis at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Brook Lopez at the 5. So the main change there is Chris Middleton going from the 3 to the 2, and then Bobby Portis getting elevated off the bench to the 3 spot. So it worked fantastic here, and I think this is the starting lineup that they should be going with. I think they can consistently win with this, because Dante DiVincenzo at the starting point guard, he was actually doing pretty decent all game long. We saw he had the game-winning charge, great defense, and then these stats here, 24 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds on 56% shooting, 4 of 7 from 3. I mean, what a performance by him. Probably his best performance of the season. So we'll see if this lineup sticks, because Chris Middleton even had probably his best game of the season. 31 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds on 58% shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. And then Giannis still got it done. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. And Bobby Portis even stepped it up off the bench at the starting 3 position. 12 points, 8 rebounds on 55% shooting. This is what we're talking about. And then Brook Lopez steps up as well. 12 points, only 5 rebounds, but still decent defense down there at a +5. Still working against Steven Adams. So the starters really kind of all got it done. Nobody off the bench did great. Pat Connaughton had 8 points in 26 minutes on 75% shooting, so that was decent. But then Brian Forbes, 2 points. Thaddeus Antetokounmpo, 0 points in 7 minutes, and Sam Merrill, 2 points in 7 minutes. So the starters really got it all done for the Bucks here in this new lineup of Dante at the 1, Chris Middleton at the 2, Bobby Portis at the 3. I think this can stick, so we'll see if they stick with this lineup. I love the fact that Chris Middleton's kind of the 2 now and not the 3. I never thought that Chris Middleton was that great at the 3. He was kind of decently consistent, not consistent enough where it's going to kind of win games on a consistent basis and be kind of the true number 2, the number 2 scoring option. So love Chris Middleton here at the 2. Fantastic work by the Bucks to close out this game. Great job by literally every single one of their starters from the 1 to the 5, getting it done from the start to the finish. As we said, Dante DiVincenzo with the game kind of sealing block or charge call. Alrighty, so well done to the Bucks, winning 129-125. Alrighty, that was the NBA from last night. Let's see what's on deck today. Do we got primetime nationally televised games? Yes, we do. 7:30, Celtics, Pacers. This should be interesting. 2 kind of meh teams. Pacers meh, Celtics meh, because they are, kind of missing a couple of players. But that's 7:30 on ESPN. Then we got Raptors, Rockets. Raptors all day and tomorrow. We'll be swallowing points there for sure. Kings, Pistons, probably stay away from that one. Heat, Jazz, a big game for this Heat team here. Huge game. Can they beat this Jazz team? It's gonna prove a lot there. Bulls, Suns. All right, a huge game for the Bulls as well. We've been talking about the Bulls kind of heavily this week. We'll see if they can kind of keep up their winning streak here and beat the Suns. A big competition here for the Suns. We'll see if the Bulls can get it done. Grizzlies, Clippers again. Rematch. Will the Clippers upset the Grizzlies this time? Dylan Brooks should still be playing, so probably not. Hawks, Thunder should be a good one for both teams. Hornets, Warriors, once again, should be pretty good for both these teams here. Pretty kind of even teams here. We'll see who gets to win. And then the late game, Lakers, Blazers, 10 o'clock on ESPN. We'll see. Is LeBron James going to play? Is he going to just fold it in? We'll see. Can the Blazers get back on track? Because they had a tough week as well. So some decent games on today, some decent games on television, but let's get our moneymaker right. Let's go back to back, folks. Let's go back to back here. So let's update these lines, refresh them. Let's see what we get. Alrighty, here we go. Pacers, Celtics. Pacers plus 2.5, Celtics minus 2.5. I do not think this is good value either way. Let's see if Kemba Walker is back in the starting lineup for the Celtics, because that will be a huge call. Marcus Smart is still out, but Kemba Walker not on here, not as a game time decision, not as an out, so I am assuming he's going, and everybody is still kind of good to go for the Pacers. So gonna stay away from this one. 2 kind of not great teams that we really can't get a read on. I would say the Celtics win. If we have to choose it, I'd go Celtics minus 2.5 because Kemba's back, and this Pacers team's got nothing really special besides Sabonis. But no great value either way, and we stay away from it. Alrighty, Raptors, Rockets. Rockets plus 8.5, Raptors minus 8.5. Very interesting here. I knew we were going to have to swallow a lot of points. I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be this many. Everybody's really good to go for the Rockets and the Raptors. Obviously, we still know Christian Wood is still out, but Victor Oladipo, John Wall, can they get it done together? No, we know they can't. But do we swallow 8.5 with the Raptors? Ooh, that's a little much. We'll come back to it if we don't get any great value anywhere else. Alrighty, Suns and Bulls. Suns minus 6.5, Bulls plus 6.5. Oof. Do we feel confident enough in this Bulls team to take them plus a 6? We see Dario Saric as a game time decision for the Suns. Otto Porter Jr. out for the Bulls. Lauri McCannon out for the Bulls. Oof, Bulls, man. Woof. All right, Suns coming off of a tough loss against the Hornets. Now they're on the road against the Bulls. All right, once again, decent value with the Bulls plus 6.5. Let's see if we get any better value elsewhere, and we'll come back to it if we need to. Now we go to Jazz and the Heat. Jazz minus 6.5. Heat plus 6.5. All right, interesting here as well. Everybody good to go for the Jazz. Avery Bradley still out for the Heat. Bam Adebayo, game time decision. Tyler Hero, game time decision. Bam Adebayo, if he is not in, then the Heat will have no chance of winning. I'm assuming Bam Adebayo plays. We know Goran Dragic is back, so Heat plus 6.5, not terrible as well. All right, just kind of on the cusp. It's just early on the cusp of great value. We'll come back to that one as well. All right, Hawks Thunder. Hawks minus 5.5. Thunder plus 5.5. Let's see if everybody's good to go here. Boban Bogdanovic out for the Hawks. Cam Reddish game time decision. Al Horford out for the Thunder. A big out there. So not bad. And Hamidou Diallo also out for the Thunder. So kind of too big out for the Thunder. Hawks minus 5.5. Not terrible there. Clint Capella should be able to eat all day. We know Trae Young's great. It's really just how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to play. And he's been on a streak a little bit these last probably 5 games, just kind of on a tear scoring the ball wise. But Hawks just beating the Celtics pretty convincingly. Thunder just escaping against a lackluster Spurs team. Hawks minus 5. I think we might be back on the Hawks train, baby. We'll take that one. We'll take Hawks minus 5.5. Alrighty, Kings, Pistons. Kings minus 2, Pistons plus 2. Definitely going to stay away from this one. I know the Kings are just itching to win. They just want to win. They've been coming close. And so we're just going to stay away from this one. It's just two really bad teams going against each other. No great value either way. Then we go to Clippers and the Grizzlies, and Clippers minus 6.5, Grizzlies plus 6.5. Whoa, a little disrespect by Vegas a little bit. I don't know. All right, everybody's pretty much good to go for the Grizzlies and the Clippers. No big names out for either of those squads, but they are in the back-to-back. Clippers just got embarrassed, so we got to stay away from this one. Just, when they have, when teams are facing each other back-to-back, or, facing each other like twice in 3 days, with a day off in between, it's not really smart to go and kind of take it again, So we do like Grizzlies plus 6.5. Dylan Brooks is still there. Valanciunas is still there. John Morant's still there, but we got to stay away from it because they do play back-to-back in 2 straight days. Alrighty, Blazers and Lakers. Here it is. Great value if everybody's playing. Blazers plus 5, Lakers minus 5. Why are we still trusting this Lakers team? Is Dennis Schroeder back? Let's see. Everybody's good to go for the Blazers besides the usual suspects of McCollum, Nurkic, and Collins. For the Lakers, LeBron James game time decision. Markieff Morris game time decision. Anthony Davis out. Dennis Schroeder game time decision. Same thing with Kyle Kuzma. So I would assume that Dennis Schroeder is going to be in the starting lineup, but I think we're going to take the 5 here for the Blazers. I mean, if they don't have the beef down low, Enes Kanter should be able to decently lock up whoever they put there at their kind of substitution. Enes Kanter should be able to kind of play very well. The Blazers are on a 4-game losing streak. They should be able to be competitive in this game, so we'll take the 5 points here with the Blazers. And then the last game of the night, Hornets and the Warriors. Hornets plus 6, Warriors minus 6. Oh boy, is that great value with the points. Cody Zeller game time decision, and everybody's good to go for the Warriors. So Hornets plus 6, not terrible value. Let's see them get another win under their belt before we start taking them consistently. So let's beef this up to a 3-teamer. Let's get one of these other games that we're liking a little bit more, and I think it's either going to be the Raptors minus 8 or the Heat plus 6.5. Oof. Alrighty. Do we swallow the 8.5 for the Raptors? That is kind of the question here. Do we believe in the Raptors? Or do we believe in the Heat a little bit more? I think I believe in the Heat a little bit more. Let's believe in the Heat a little bit more, folks. They may not win, but we'll take the plus 6.5. I think they keep it close. Goran Dragic, I mean, that's really all they need. Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic, that's kind of the two offensive focal points. They play great defense as well. So we'll lock this in. Hawks -5, Blazers +5, Heat plus 6.5. Our moneymaker is going to go back-to-back, folks. Once we are on track, once we are good to go, it's hard to bring us down. So there we go. Nice little three-teamer for tonight. Hawks -5.5, Blazers +5, Heat plus 6.5. Alrighty, let's head over to one of our main topics of today, our NBA Power Rankings. Yes, sir. We've got a huge shakeup here. Huge shakeup. New teams in, new number one, new top three. Not too much, but new number one. So here we go. This was the NBA Power Rankings coming into this week. Raptors at 10, Knicks at 9, Clippers at 8, Nuggets at 7, Lakers at 6, 76ers at 5, Blazers at 4, Suns at 3, Nets at 2, Jazz at 1. Alrighty, folks. We've got a lot of teams falling out. We've got four teams? 4 teams all falling out of the top 10. That means 4 new teams will be made. And as I said at the top of the show, this is kind of the second week up until, or the second to last NBA Power Rankings up until the All-Star break. So we got this day, to this Friday, and then we got next Friday, and then the All-Star break officially begins on Thursday night. Thursday's the last official day of games. Then we have a 5-day break. So we're going to, we can kind of, with how much kind of mediocrity that there was this week, we felt like we could kind of play around with the top 10 a little bit. Not too much. I mean, we're not going to go crazy, but we have been impressed by some teams this week. So we're going to give them a shot this week to kind of prove themselves. Since we're taking a lot of teams out of the top 10, we're going to make the way for some of these teams that have been elevating their play these last week or two and getting it together. We'll see if it's real or if it's fake, but we're going to give them this week before the All-Star break and get them in here in the top 10. So here we go. Let's start by telling you which teams are out of the top 10, which teams we're kicking out, and why we're doing so. So the first team that we're kicking out is the Raptors. In the last week, they went 2-2. They beat the Timberwolves and the 76ers, and then lost to the 76ers and the Heat. So they split against their series against the 76ers. Just once again, this Raptors team, we put them in number 10 because we want to take them slowly, and we're just seeing hit and miss and 50-50 play every single time. We want to believe in them, and then they take steps back, and then we start to believe in them again, and then they take steps back. So want to see this Raptors team consistently start beating some of the top tier teams. Losing against the Heat was a little unfortunate. I know Goran Dragic was back in the starting lineup, I believe, for that game, but still got to be a little bit more competitive, got to start beating some of these more teams consistently. So we got to move the Raptors out of the top 10 just for going 2-2 this week. Alrighty, the other team is the Clippers at number 8, moving them out of the top 10 over them in the last week. They went 2-2, beating the Jazz and the Wizards and losing against the Nets and the Grizzlies. I mean, folks, they're so well rested, losing against teams that they should be, losing against the Grizzlies, first of all, losing against the Nets, we can understand, but just not being competitive and not beating teams consistently and not going on some nice runs of 4-0 and 3-0 and maybe even 2-1, maybe we can forgive. But this Clippers team, of how well rested they are and still not beating the upper tier teams, the best teams in the league when they're playing every single night, it's like, what are we doing here? So we're moving the Clippers out. We're over them. We had them at number 8 because once again, we had to take them slowly. There's nothing great by them. A little 50-50 when everybody's playing, and once again, just how well rested they are. It's a little disrespectful that they're not winning games to kind of do some of the other teams that are just night in, night out, overcoming injuries and, elevating their lineups and, the stars not taking a night off. LeBron has never taken a night off for the last 2 seasons, folks, and he's trying his damn best. So we're taking the Clippers out. The other team that we're taking out, unfortunately, is the Lakers. They're at number 6. I mean, without Anthony Davis and Dennis Schroeder, this team is nothing great, folks. It's truly not even anything good. It's LeBron and everybody else not stepping up on a consistent basis, and so we got to take the Lakers out until Anthony Davis gets back, until they start stringing together some wins, because in their this last week, they had 0 wins and 3 losses against the Heat, the Wizards, and the Jazz. I know those are kind of the top tier teams, the Jazz, the Heat elevating their play a little bit, the Wizards elevating their play a little bit this last week, but still, they got to start winning some of these games, and without Anthony Davis in the starting lineup and without Dennis Schroeder, this is a entirely different team that we cannot trust or believe in or bet on or root for. So, Lakers out of the top 10 as well. And then this one's a big jump as well. The Blazers at number 4. They had a really, really tough week. 0-3 this week, losing against the Wizards, the Suns, and the Nuggets. You cannot be losing against all those teams, folks. So we do have to drop the Blazers out of the top 10 just because we want to make room for another team here that has kind of flourished this week or maybe the last 2 weeks. So Blazers, they can definitely get back in the top 10, but want to start seeing them play. They just had a real bad week, but overall they're still a good team, and we still do like the Blazers, and we just took them with the points here tonight, plus 6.5. But, yeah, got to start seeing them step it up a little bit more. Just had a little bit of a bad week. Don't think they'll continue it, but we got to move them out of the top 10 because we got more room for other teams. So here we go. Now that we told you why those 4 teams are out, let's start introducing some new teams here. And here we go. At number 10, the new number 10 team is going to be the Chicago Bulls. Yes, sir. Zach LaVine has been carrying his team single-handedly all season, but now we start to see, Thaddeus Young step it off the bench consistently. Kobe White start to get it done in the starting lineup as kind of the number 2 here consistently. So I'm all about this Bulls team. In the last week, they've been, where are they at? They're 3-2 in the last week. They beat the Kings, the Rockets, and the Timberwolves. Once again, not great wins, decent wins against those teams, but winning games nonetheless, and then losing against the 76ers and the Kings. So not a great loss against the Kings, but what this team is doing and how they've kind of been bouncing back from a very, very slow start, that kind of first third of the season, they're really starting to step it up, and we're going to give them a chance here at number 10. What can you do for us this week heading into the All-Star break? Can they impress us? Are they going to start taking time off? Because this is a huge week, with All-Star break coming up. Our team's gonna start mailing it in this week, taking that kind of early vacation, because we'll move you out of the top 10 for that. We got no patience for that here in the top 10, honestly. So Bulls, this is their week, make or break week for the Bulls, and we'll start them at number 10 because of that. Alrighty, new number 9 team, once again taking it slow, giving them an opportunity, giving them a chance here. At number 9 is going to be the Washington Wizards. I mean, folks, Bradley Beal starting to step it up. Russell Westbrook not turning the ball over too much, but having triple-doubles, still getting involved. We see, their bench of David Bertans, Rui Hachimura getting elevated to the starting lineup and doing well. David Bertans being kind of that third clutch player if they need that. So, like the Bulls, everybody is starting to kind of get it done together, starting to step it up together for this Wizards team. And in the last week, they went 3-1, beating the Blazers, the Lakers, and the Nuggets. All really solid win, even though the Lakers, they didn't have Anthony Davis. But the Wizards, I mean, it's not like they're a great team themselves. So great win there. They did lose against the Clippers kind of decently. I think like a 16-point loss. That was on a back-to-back with the Lakers, though. So we're going to give them an opportunity here. As we said, kind of like the Bulls. Let's see what they do this week. They definitely cannot send it in, kind of phone it in, mail it in this last week, and they do kind of have some players that may do that. Bradley Beal, who's kind of expressed he doesn't want to be here anymore. Russell Westbrook, who's, I don't think he'll phone it in because he never phones in any game, but still, if Bradley Beal starts to phone it in, they've got nobody else to kind of replace him in any department. Scoring, defense, rebounding, assisting, they are not that deep themselves, but they've been having to pass probably past 2 weeks here, definitely a good past week here. So we're going to give them a chance here at number 10. Let's see what you got. Let's get consistent here, and let's start beating some of these better teams consistently like they were kind of doing this week. So we honor the Wizards with their great performance this week at number 9. Alrighty, new number 8 team and new number team in the top 10 here. Here it is, the Heat. Yes, sir. They're back, baby. The Heat are back. In the last week, they're 3-0, baby. No losses over here. They're like, losses? Come on. We got Jimmy Butler back. We got Goran Dragic back. That's all we need. We don't take no L's when those two are in our kind of rotation here. So here we go. Heat beating the Lakers, the Thunder, and the Raptors. Solid wins there all around. I think that Lakers game, that was the first game that Anthony Davis didn't play, and it was like a 2-point win for the Heat, but still closing out the game, winning the game, we'll give it to them. So very well done to the Heat. As long as they got Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic, that's really all they need, and that's what we've been saying kind of all season long. We are not going to kind of sell the Heat because, Goran Dragic and Jimmy Butler were out for weeks. I mean, Jimmy Butler was out for like 2 weeks, and then they started to win games when he got in the starting lineup, but then Goran Dragic is still out, but now that he's back in the starting lineup, they're fine. Now it's just they need just one other person to step up and not two. So Kendrick Nunn usually steps up. Tyler Hero steps up every now and then. So they've got the pieces, they got the scores, they got the bench, the depth, the big. They're kind of returning to their form in the bubble now that everybody's slowly starting to get healthy now. This is a huge week for the Heat. Want to see them kind of thrive and kind of go into the All-Star break on a nice win streak. So Heat at number 8, solid week. Everybody's back healthy, and they're at number 8 because of that. Alrighty, new number 7 team. This team moving up a little bit is the New York Knicks. Solid week here. We see, what do we see? We see that Derrick Rose just got into the starting lineup last night for last night's game, so very well done. He kind of thrived there, so like seeing that. But in the last week, the Knicks went 2-1. They beat the Timberwolves and the Kings. Once again, not great wins, but solid wins for this Knicks team, who are kind of rising up a little bit. And they did lose against the Warriors, not the greatest, but we did see kind of great play from the bench all week. We saw great stuff from the starters, RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. And like we said, Derrick Rose elevated to that starting lineup position. He really made it work, and then the bench really got even better. So we'll see if this kind of starting lineup sticks. Once again, we're giving this Knicks team a shot here, a chance here. Let's end out this kind of first half of the season on a high note, and we'll take it from there next Friday with the power rankings. But this Knicks team, they are kind of rising up. Like I said, the Bulls, Wizards, Heat, and Knicks, they've all had really kind of a bad third of the season. This second third that we're kind of currently in right now, they've really starting to been stepping it up here these last 2 weeks. So we're going to give all these teams a chance. They've got some bright moments. They've got some promise there. They've been all rising up. So we're going to respect some of this kind of talent here that has been rising up and not floundering like, the Clippers and the Raptors and the Lakers, who are now floundering currently. So we're elevating teams at what have you done for us lately, and we feel confident with the Bulls, Wizards, Heat, and Knicks at 10 through 7 here. All right, number 6 team is going to be the Nuggets. They've been at number 7 forever now. We have to move them up to number 6 just to kind of, of what everybody else has been doing. But the Nuggets, once again, nothing great this season. Nothing great this week. I'm talking about mediocrity. I mean, everybody really in the top 10 this week was going like 2 of 2. Nothing fantastic. So that's why we had some spots up here available. That's why we had to, kind of move a lot of stuff around. But Nuggets at number 6. The last week, they went 2-2, beating the Cavs and the Blazers. Decent wins there. Blazers is a better win over the Cavs, but then you lose to the Heat and the Wizards. It's just like, not great there. So, so we moved the Nuggets up a little bit. Really shouldn't have lost last night, as we saw. Probably should have tied it. Who knows what would have happened in overtime. But the Wizards being competitive, that was the main takeaway of that game. So we will move the Nuggets up a little bit. Just one spot. Not really of what they did on their own, just kind of what everybody else did around them. Nobody else really stepped up as well. So we'll have the Nuggets at 6. Jamal Murray and Jokic can show out any night they want. Michael Porter Jr. is kind of getting back into the momentum and the rhythm of the starting lineup now. But the Nuggets, they've got a nice big 3. They've got decent depth off the bench. They have been missing Paul Millsap these last couple of games, which has really definitely hindered them. But Nuggets at number 6, they've still got a decent squad here. We'll see how they close out this kind of last week. Alrighty, new number 5 team, and this is our last new addition here in the top 10, and we got to give it to the Bucks here. Huge jump here. Weren't in the top 10 coming into this week, but we got to move them all the way up here to number 5, because in the last week they went 4-0, beating the Thunder, the Kings, the Timberwolves, and the Pelicans. And the Thunder, the Kings, and the Timberwolves, not really great wins there, but like we said, we don't like to penalize teams for, winning games that they should be winning. In that Pelicans game, I mean, I love that lineup. So that's, kind of, a preview of what's to come and what's to consistently be the starting lineup of this Bucks team, I think I'm definitely about it. Chris Middleton at the 2, Dante DiVincenzo at the 1, Bobby Portis at the 3. I think I'm all about that starting lineup. So Bucks at 5, great kind of closeout win against the Pelicans, who have been kind of streaking a little bit here this last week, a tad. Definitely, like we said, the Pelicans winning kind of decently throughout that entire game, having leads kind of throughout the entire game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Well done by the Bucks. Great performance by everybody in the starting lineup, and that's what we want to see consistently from this Bucks team. Everybody in that starting lineup doing good, not just Chris Middleton and Giannis, or not just Giannis and Brook Lopez. It's everybody in that starting lineup. Great performance by everybody last night. Great lineup. I loved that freaking lineup. So we'll see if they stick with it. But Bucks at 5 because of all those reasons in a 4-0 week. The only team that went undefeated besides another team that we will be talking about in the top 4 here. Alrighty, new number 4 teams as we took the Blazers out of the top 4, out of that number 4 spot, and we moved the 76ers up to number 4 this week. So nice little move up from 5 to 4 this week for the 76ers. This week they went 3-1, beating the Bulls, the Raptors, and the Mavs. All solid competition. The Bulls are rising. The Raptors are still pretty decent. And the Mavs, they still got Doncic. So good wins there. They did lose against the Raptors, so split against the Raptors, but won their second meeting, which is definitely better than losing your second meeting. So, you made your adjustments. You got either healthier or you got maybe a better bench player that didn't play that game or something like that. But 76ers win that second meeting against the Raptors. Still unstoppable. Joel Embiid is still unstoppable. Still can't beat him. Tobias Harris is still getting it done. We've seen Danny Green really kind of step it up this last week. Kind of consistent shooting performances by him and good defense as well. Seth Curry has had some pretty good games. And so the 76ers team, just really everybody getting it done here. And so we moved them up because of that to number 4. Yeah. Alrighty. Suns staying at number 3. Yeah, staying at number 3 here for the Suns. Can't really move them up too much. They did go 3-1 in their last week, so very well done. They beat the Pelicans, Grizzlies, and the Blazers. Pelicans and Grizzlies both rising. Blazers a little falling a little bit just this week alone. And then they did lose to the Hornets, unfortunately. Little bit of a big loss there. That's kind of why we have to keep them at number 3, unfortunately. But, they're making it work. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton getting it done consistently. So we keep the Suns at 3. Solid squad here, all getting it done night in, night out. And they're definitely one of the best teams. They can go and challenge any team. If they go and face, the Nets, the Jazz, the 76ers, I feel like they can go and beat that team any given night. I give them a 50-50 chance, which is exactly where you want to be. You want to have at least that 50% chance. There's 2 outcomes in a game, win or lose. So if you're that 50-50, you're pretty good. Whereas, the Pistons, I give them probably maybe a 10% chance of winning it on a nightly basis. So Suns at number 3. They're still good. Just kind of had a little bit of a hiccup this week, losing to the Hornets, but it was a close loss. So, we'll give them it. Alrighty, number 1 and 2, folks. These are the 1 and 2 teams. Now, do we flip the order? Nets at 2, Jazz at 1. We flip the order. Jazz at number 2, Nets at number 1. Nets winning without Kevin Durant, folks. Folks, come on. You take off one of your bigs on your team. LeBron James with the Lakers, they can't get a win. Jimmy Butler without the Heat, they can't get a win. Who else do we get? Joel Embiid with the 76ers, tough to get a win. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, tough to get a win without the Jazz. But without Kevin Durant, this Nets team is like, okay. Okay, we got Bruce Brown, we got Joe Harris. It don't matter. They're just kind of luxury. Kevin Durant's a luxury to us. Could you imagine saying Kevin Durant's a luxury to us? Well, we kind of can because he was with the Warriors. Get that zing in there. But yeah, Jazz at number 2, absolutely fantastic. Let's go over through this quickly. In the last week, they beat the Hornets and the Lakers, lost to the Clippers. Unfortunately, that Clippers loss, not the greatest. Obviously, we know the Lakers. They blew out the Lakers, fine, but, they only had LeBron James. So losing against the Clippers, a little not great there by the Jazz, but they're 9-1 in their last 10. Just that hiccup against the Clippers, and we'll give you 1 out of every 10 games. So we'll give you a loss, and you can have your pick of who you lose against. We've got no problem with that. So the Jazz at number 2, they're still deep. They've got, the unstoppable freaking pick and roll between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, and still got Jordan Clarkson off the bench. So number 2 for the Jazz. And then the Nets, they went undefeated this week. They're on an 8-game winning streak, 8-2 in their last 10, beating the Clippers, the Kings, and the Magic. Now, the Kings and the Magic, not great wins, but they were blowing them out, and they beat the Clippers, underdog team going into them. We took that game. They were getting points like 6.5, and we took it, and they went outright. So this Nets team, James Harden, Kyrie Irving getting it done, and then the supporting cast, DeAndre Jordan at the 5, Joe Harris at the 4, getting it all done. Bruce Brown, we just saw last night, get it done as well. So this Nets team, they're decently deep. No Kevin Durant still, and they're still winning games. And because of that, of how well James Harden is just kind of facilitating the floor, how well him and Kyrie Irving are both scoring the ball together, the fact that freaking Joe Harris can still get 15 plus points while, Kevin Durant, or while Kyrie Irving goes for 30, while James Harden goes for 30, and Joe Harris can still find efficient 15 points. It's absolutely great. So Nets at number 1. They're deep. They don't even have Kevin Durant, folks. Alrighty, so the new power rankings going into this week will be the Bulls at 10, the Wizards at 9, the Heat at 8, the Knicks at 7, the Nuggets at 6, the Bucks at 5, the 76ers at 4, the Suns at 3, the Jazz at 2, the Nets at 1. Alrighty, now let's go to our second main topic of today, our NFL draft prospect of the day. And our NFL draft prospect of today is Patrick Surtain, the second cornerback from Alabama. And if you know Patrick Surtain the first, he was a defensive back in the NFL. Yes, sir, playing for the Dolphins and the Chiefs. Pretty decent stats here by the dad, Patrick Surtain the first. Some solid 105 pass defenses in his 11-year career. 3 Pro Bowls all in consecutive 3 straight years. How many interceptions does he have? How many interceptions? 37 total. Look at these years of 6, 7, 4, and all these pass defenses. He's got forced fumbles as well. How many forced fumbles? 8, and 8 fumble recoveries. So if this man is anything like his dad, this man will be a stud. This man will be a stud. So back to Patrick Surtain the second, defensive back of Alabama. He's 6'2". How tall is dad? 5'11". Oh, he's going to be even better than his dad. He's like, I got 3 inches on you, clown. 202 pounds as well, so a beefy tall corner. Damn, what more do you need, folks? This will get it done. So let's see what he did. 3 years at Alabama, 2018, 2019, 2020. In 2018, his freshman season, 37 total tackles, 1 interception. Love seeing that. 7 pass defenses. Don't you try and test his corner, folks. Don't you try and test his side. And 1 forced fumble. That's his freshman year. Pretty dang good. Alrighty, then year number 2, sophomore year, 42 tackles. 2 interceptions, very well done. 8 pass defenses, 1 fumble recovery, 3 forced fumbles, yes sir. And then this year in only 13 games, 37 tackles, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, 1 pick six. Potential. 9 pass defenses, no forced fumbles. Oh, where'd the forced fumbles come from? Or where'd they go? But overall, a decent career there in Alabama over 3 seasons. So now let's go into his bowl games. We do weigh bowl games heavily. So let's see if he was doing good in these bowl games, if some of these good stats were coming in the bowl game. So in 2018, in the SEC championship game against Georgia, he had 7 tackles, 1 pass defense. And let's see what the score was. Was him in the defense holding it down? Only allowed 28 points. Not terrible in college. We'll give him it. So the defense was holding it down. Then they get to the playoffs because of that performance. First round against Oklahoma. 3 tackles. No interceptions. No pass defenses. No forced fumbles. So, all right, a little light there. Let's see if he was locking up Oklahoma. They gave up 34 points. All right. Not the greatest. All right. And then in the championship game against Clemson where they lose, 1 tackle, no pass defense, he had 1 pass defense, no interceptions, no forced fumbles. All right, let's see what the score was. They lose. They couldn't lock it up, and they gave up 44. Woof. All righty. So him and his company did not get it done in 2018. But let's see if he stepped up in 2019 in the bowl games, the games that actually matter in college. Let's see. 2019 against Michigan in their bowl game. 7 tackles, 1 pass defense, gets the win. Yes, sir. Let's see if the defense held Michigan. Held them to 16 points. That's pretty darn good. And then in 2020, what did he do this year in the bowl game, the SEC championship game against Florida? 3 tackles, 2 pass defenses, shutting that side of the field down. Don't you try and test my side. They did give up 46 points, though, so not the greatest. But maybe he was locking up his side. All right, then in the first round of the playoffs against Notre Dame, 3 tackles, 1 pass defense. Let's see how many points they gave up defensively. They gave up 14, so very solid there, locking it up all game. And then they got to Ohio State for the national championship game. 3 tackles, 1 pass defense, and I don't believe they gave up that many points. Let's double check this time. Against Ohio State this year, gave up 24 points, not too bad. So overall, Patrick Surtian, pretty dang good. Good stats. Unfortunately, not no great stats in the bowl games and the college football playoff games and the championship games, but maybe they just weren't throwing to his side. So we'll have to break all that down. So for our film, we obviously just broke down the stats, which all are looking good. So now we got to watch the tape with it. For our tape, we got the 2020 highlights, seeing what he does there. And then instead of just watching the bowl game again, I mean, we've watched this Alabama-Ohio State bowl game a bunch because we've been looking at a bunch of Ohio State and Alabama players already these first 12 days. So what we're going to take is the SEC championship game of this year and watch that against Florida. We'll watch him in just kind of a natural game setting. We'll watch kind of all the defensive plays. Yeah, we see the highlights, but we want to see what you're doing kind of just a regular game. So we just take a random game. We're going to take the SEC championship game of 2020 so we don't have to watch Alabama and Ohio State again. Get a fresh game in our minds and seeing what this man is doing, Patrick Surtian II. But let's start here with the highlights first. Let's get us going. Let's get us energized. Let's get us feeling this man. So here we go. Patrick Surtian Jr.'s highlights of 2020, cornerback of Alabama. Let's get his number. He's number 2 so we can track him around the field. Here we go, 2020. Alrighty, this first highlight up against Mississippi State. Oh, there it is, the pick 6. We saw he scored a touchdown, and it was a pick 6. So here we go. Let's watch it one more time. This is just a nice little comeback route by the Mississippi State receiver, and he just reads it all the way, battles for the ball, able to pick it off. Yes, sir. That's some good strength that we see. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, so that's a beefy corner over there. He will battle you for the ball, so that's absolutely fantastic. Next play against Tennessee, going a little deep here. And a nice pass defense, great position on him, really right on that receiver. He had him the receiver was behind him, but he still, was right on him. This isn't even like a half a yard of separation. This is tight coverage. He makes the play on the ball, tips it away. He says, no touchdown for y'all. I'm locking it up on this side. Don't you test my side. Very well done to Patrick Surtian here. We get a nice little replay. I mean, he got the hand on it. He tipped the ball away. Fantastic work there. One-on-one coverage. All right, here down in the goal on the red zone here. Once again, one-on-one coverage, batting the ball away at the last second, I believe. We'll get a better angle here with the slowdown. Better angle as well. Here it is, just cutting him off, and there it is. Look at this physical contact. He picks him up right now in his hip pocket. No separation there. Closing out on the ball, knocks it away. Fantastic work there. All right, against LSU right here, trying to go over the middle of the field. Did he dive in? See if we get we don't get a better angle, but he comes in hot here. He comes in hot. Just breaks it up. Well done. All right, number 2 right there. All right, against Tennessee again. Why are you testing my side? Did y'all not learn in the end zone? I'm breaking passes up down here. With stride for stride, we should say. There's no safety over the top, so if he gets burned, this is a touchdown, but he's right there. Great coverage, batting the ball away at the last second, making a play on the ball, tipping it away. That's what I love to see, and at 6'2", 200 pounds, he should have no problem doing that. All right, against Florida here, we'll watch this game a little bit more closely. This is the title game, the SEC championship game. So here it is, clutch, fourth quarter. They do have a nice 14-point lead here, and he just a nice little kind of out route there, but he bats the ball away. It looked like the receiver had it had the ball in his hands for about a second, and then he comes over, swipes the ball away. That's an incomplete pass, my man. All right, here we go again against Texas A&M. Breaking it up. Just challenging that receiver, sees he's going to go in, and this is a bad thrown ball here. Possible chance at a pick, just unfortunately couldn't hold on. All right, here we go. Ooh, don't throw that. That's tight coverage trying to fit the ball in there, and Patrick Surtain makes sure that that ball is not caught a huge hit right when the ball gets there on the receiver. Ooh, that's a big old shot. That's six. We got to reiterate it. That's 6'2", 200 pounds. You getting smacked at the corner position there. Oh, yeah, this is huge. An open field tackle stick here. Just kind of a nice little out route there. Flick out to the running back to the right side. He comes up and makes the tackle. I love this. I hate, I know you're supposed to break down, kind of just keep them in front of you. But, I mean, when you have a chance to go and stick and make them lose like 3-4 yards, that's when you have to go attack, and that's what he does. You only really break down when, there's positive yards on the ground. When they get 2 yards out of the pass, you don't want them to get, 5 yards. You'll give up maybe an extra yard, then you break down. But if you have a chance to go out there, make them lose yards, make them create a big hit, he goes there and gets a nice stick there. So well done. Great tackle, great technique, great everything, and very well done in making them lose about 3-4 yards on that play. All right, we don't need another replay of this, but we'll watch it anyway. That's a great tackle. Great hit. We definitely don't need two. All right, now we're going a little overboard with this. All right, thank you. Moving on back to Tennessee, back here. Once again, shutting it down. Do not try to throw that little just kind of safety valve route to the running back outside. No. I'm playing the coverage there. I've got the short flats, and I'm not letting you get that. Great stick. Once again, losing about 2 or 3 yards because he's aggressive. He's confident in his surefire tackles and his one-on-one ability in the open space. Very well done. Alrighty, great coverage here against Georgia. Trying to hit the one-on-one route, but hey, great coverage, not letting them get there. The ball goes, there's just nowhere to go with the ball. So the quarterback kind of throws it a little bit too much out of bounds. No separation. We don't need to, we'll watch it one more time. Just watch he's right there with them. Great job. Not letting the receiver get any separation. Very well done. All right, against Georgia again. Once again, all right, maybe a little beat here. There's a little contact here with Surtain. This may be a flag in the NFL. This may be a flag. Got his head around at the last second. Looks like he kind of broke up the ball as well. Let's see if we get another angle here replay. No, the one that we want another angle replay on, we don't get. Unfortunate. Once again, look at this nice tackle here. Everything's flowing to the right, and he just goes and makes a stick. He's like, all right, you'll get the 2 yards, but you're not getting any more than that. Short tackling here. Great tackler. In open space, on running backs, on wide receivers, it doesn't matter. All right. What do we see here? Did he come off the blitz? Did he come blitz? Let's see. Right here. Oh, yeah, the cornerback blitz makes them kind of rush the throw a little bit. Definitely his hit affected the throw a lot. Cornerback blitzing. Yes, sir. Well done coming off the left side of the field there. Alrighty, and that's the last highlight. So overall, not bad by Patrick Surtain. I think we were a little more impressed by Caleb Fairley, just off the highlights and the packages and the stats that we've seen. I think I'm a little bit more impressed by Caleb Fairley, but Patrick Surtain definitely very well done out here. So let's go over to the Florida game, the SEC championship game this season, and just kind of watch him on the field. Are they throwing to his side? Are they targeting his side? Is he giving up anything big? So we'll quickly watch this. We got to get to, we'll only watch the defensive side of the ball for Alabama since that's where he plays. So here we go. Let's see if we can find him here. He should be on the right side of the field all the way up top here. Number 2. Throwing over the middle, not towards his side. All right, next play. Once again, not throwing towards his side, but that cornerback got beat. 13 got beat. Patrick Surtain doesn't do that. He don't get beat like that. And that went all the way for the touchdown. Unfortunate. All right, let's try to get back on defense here against Alabama or against Florida. So here we go. Once again, throwing to the left side. Patrick Surtain is on the right side. Here he is up the top here. Running play. He's just kind of being the guard, just letting him not break it out big. All right, still up top here. There he goes. Patrick Surtain got a little beat on this crossing route. He did close out very well and had a chance to kind of strip the ball out after the catch, but the ball was already caught, so the slant route kind of got beat there a little bit. And he played tight coverage. We see man right up top here, just kind of gets beat right off the line of scrimmage. Now he's got the yardage there. Not the best throw because he was able to kind of make a play on it at the last second, but overall not bad, not bad. Yes, he got beat, decent recover. Do they call in that incomplete pass? I think that is complete. Pretty sure that's complete. All right, back to the run game here. Ooh, all right. Kind of got blocked out a little bit here. Going to be kind of a keeper. Whoever took the snap, I don't know if that's the quarterback or not, but number 5 keeping the play here, running to the right side, and he kind of got blocked out there a little bit. He's got to come out, shed that block, and try to make that tackle. Picks up about 5 or 6 extra yards because Surtain was blocked a little bit too much there. All right, here we go. Surtain at the top here. Coverage, coverage, coverage. Not even going to his side. All right. All right, Alabama back on offense. Let's get them back on defense. And there it is, Najee Harris scoring. All right. Back on defense here. Once again, Patrick Surtain right down at the bottom of the screen right here. And once again, they are going away towards his side, to the left side of the field there. And now Alabama's back on offense. We can skip all of this. They score again. All right, Alabama back on defense. Patrick Surtain back on defense. They're going deep towards his side. The safety picks him up. So it looks like this wasn't really his coverage. Just kind of gets beat. He kind of beats the safeties a tad. All righty, Patrick Surtain. They're going to his side a little bit, to the right side. Patrick Surtain was playing a little bit deeper coverage there. Oh, look at this. Oh, they're going to call him down, though. Looks like he almost popped the ball out. Just kind of contain, not let him get into the goal line. Looks like he was down before he popped the ball out. All right, let's see Patrick Surtain work in the red zone. Here he is. They're just going to run the ball. They don't stop him. So Patrick Surtain wasn't on that. He was taking the receiver. All right. Let's keep going now. Alabama's on offense. They just scored again. Now back on defense. Patrick Surtain at the top of the screen. They're throwing back to the left, not to his side. Run play goes to the right. Not much he could do about it. He's in coverage. Oh, Patrick Surtain beat. Oh, beat bad. Oh, beat bad. Real bad. Oh, has one-on-one coverage here. Doesn't even get beat, just loses the ball and allows the catch, and then allows the 10-yard run after the catch for the touchdown. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're liking Caleb Fairley a lot better. He just loses them here. You can't lose them. You've got him. You just lose the ball. Oh, man. That's killer. That is killer. Give up the touchdown. Not great. All right. Patrick Surtain beat there. We'll watch it one more time. I mean, look at him. He just kind of gets beat. Maybe a tad, a little shove in the back. Nothing too forceful. It doesn't look like he shoved him. Just he did have his hand. He just lost the ball. Patrick Surtain just lost the ball here in coverage. Not great. All right. All right. Let's get back to Alabama on defense. Here we go. See if Patrick Surtain can kind of make up for that lackluster play. They're driving, starting to kind of target the middle of the field a little bit more here. I don't think Patrick Surtain was on that, man. He didn't fall down there. Don't think that was him. Let's see if we can find Patrick Surtain at the top of the play. Watch this one more time. Yeah, at the top, taking the outside receiver. The inside is getting beat out here. All right, Patrick Surtain, run up the middle, not really going toward him. Once again, going up the middle with the run. Once again, going up the middle with the run. So they are exposing the middle of the field a little bit. Patrick Surtain did get beat once on the right side, but that was really it. Everything is to the left side in the middle now. Alabama still on offense, still on offense, still on offense. All right, now back on defense. Here we go. Blitz gets there. Not Patrick Surtain, not a cornerback blitz, but a blitz. Now they're back on offense. All right, now they're back on defense. Here we go. Patrick Surtain. They're going towards the deep middle. Yeah, they're just getting beat in the middle of the field. These safeties of Alabama are not the best. Not the best. Once again, going into the middle of the field, running all the way to the left. He gets down to the goal line. Let's see Patrick Surtain in the red zone goal line. Is he even in here? Can't even find him, honestly. Here he is. Oh, he's up top here, playing the left side a little bit, and the run goes off the right side. Unfortunate. All right, Alabama back on offense here. They score again. You cannot stop this team from scoring. All right, so now they have to lock it up on defense here. Patrick Surtain off the right side. They throw the screen to the left side. Going down the middle. This one incomplete. Overthrown, but they're going to get a flag. They get a flag. All right. Questionable. A little questionable. I can understand it a tad. Here we go. In the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. Once again, Surtain side a little bit. He was lagging off a little bit. This wasn't his true guy. Number 14 getting burned a lot. A lot of these corners are getting burned here by Alabama. Not the greatest. And then they hit the onside. They punt. One last chance at it. All right, here we go. One last chance. 14 seconds. Florida down 6 points on their own 12-yard line. Let's see if they can hit it. Let's see if Patrick Surtain steps up. Oh, a blitz there. The sack, he goes down, no timeouts, and that's game over. So, don't know if I was too impressed by Caleb Surtain here. The defense of Alabama, giving up 46 points, collectively is not good. Patrick Surtain getting kind of burned on that one-on-one was really big. Stats are all right. Highlights were all right. Nothing great. And like I said, I think we like Caleb Fairley a little bit better here, unfortunately. But that's Patrick Surtain, folks. Solid player. Definitely solid. He's got the height. You just got to get a little bit better with the technique, maybe. But he's got the height. Definitely got the tangibles. Alrighty, that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow breaking down the NBA, cashing in our Moneymaker back-to-back days, and breaking down a new NFL draft prospect. Who will it be? You must tune in to find out. Or go to our YouTube channel after we're done, because it's up there. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We are out of here.